Coach, nice job on the win. My math doesn't serve me all the best, but I think I have you guys 5 for 26 from 3 the first 2 halves, and then 5 of 8 in the overtime periods. Just talk about the good shooting in those overtime periods, what seemed to create a nice cushion and get you guys the win.
Well, I thought we did a good job, Tarek, of playing. As the game went on, our passing got better, and we were playing inside out off of Jaime and Cody, and that was a big key. So we had some really clean open looks. I think even I'm going to say we were 5 for 8, like you alluded to, in the overtime, but I'd say 7 of those. I think maybe I thought Jaime took one that was ill-advised, but I thought the other 7 were wide open, and that was a product of us working the offense and playing inside out. And when we can play inside out, we're going to get looks from 3.
Ben Bolch, go ahead.
How much do you accentuate the perseverance and getting it done versus all the kind of empty possessions and sloppiness?
Yeah, you know what I would say though, Ben, is we shot 44% for the game. We got to the foul line 37 times. I think that's a recipe for winning 95% of your games offensively, and only have 12 turnovers in about 100 possessions. That puts you probably top 10 in the country. Our problem, I thought, was defensively the first half. We just couldn't get the job done. Now, like Coach Savino tried to tell our guys, these guys, Kessler Edwards is a draft choice probably this year. Colby Ross is as good a college guard as there is in the country. He just happens to be wearing a Pepperdine uniform. If he was wearing a different one, everybody would know. All you got to do is watch. And all you got to do is ask Mark Few and Randy Bennett and Mark Pope, the guys in that league. So they're hard to defend, but we our first 3 halves of basketball this year, our defense wasn't up to par. That's on me. But we did what we had to do adjustment-wise at halftime. The guys stepped up their effort and energy. And our second half defense, we held them 30%, 20% from 3. And that's why we were up 70-64. We just didn't finish the game. We're playing small. We couldn't get a rebound. They hit 2 threes off second shots. We just great, a lot of film that we're going to show tomorrow as we take ice baths. I'm going to put my head in a bucket of ice, and I'm going to have Tiger and them guys taking cold tubs. Jaime and Chris have played 50 minutes. We've got to play a lot smarter. A lot of really ill-advised fouls. Like I told our guys, there's a difference between effort and ignorance. So there's a time for effort. There's a time to be smart. We're still learning that because we tried to lose, but our effort got us the win on the second shot on the free throw. We were dead in the water.
Mike Regalado.
Hey, Coach. First half wasn't ideal, kind of similar to the last game, but the second half and overtime seemed to be a slight return to what the Bruins were at the end of last year. What did you say to them at halftime and going into the extra sessions?
Well, I told them real quick at halftime they needed to understand that everybody we recruit against, everybody we play against, is really happy to see us losing. And nobody's going to be afraid of us because it's easy to play against us. You just get any shot you want, and we're not taking anything away from our opponents. Not enough energy, not enough toughness. You guys alluded to this. I don't know which one of you it was. Last game was 2 blocks and 1 steal, San Diego State. At halftime of this game, it was still 2 blocks and 1 steal. We had 0 and 0 in the first half. So guys stepped up, did a much better job defensively, except when it was 70-64. We gave up 2 straight threes to let them tie the game. And then we got back to defending. Then fatigue killed us in our transition defense. which allowed them to, that's really the only way they could score. We weren't getting back, and fortifying the paint, Ross was just playing downhill on us. But a lot of guys happy in the locker room. They fought out a win against a good team. I put them in a tough spot. You know, when we did this tournament, I wanted to play Pepperdine. My assistant coaches told me I was nuts. But like Tracy Murray said, and I agree with him, you know, the only way to get better is to try to best play some really good teams early and deal in reality.
Okay, a few more here for Coach Sam Conning. Go ahead.
Hey, Coach. So you had multiple guys with over 50 minutes, and that's with a shorter rotation than you used last game. What went into the decision not to use Jalen Clark and Kenny Nwuba as much today? And do you think these guys are going to need some extra rest moving forward after this?
Yeah, Jaime, Chris, and Tiger are headed for the cold tub. I'm gonna join them and put my head in after dealing with that. Jalen, I was worried that he sat too long. My fear when a guy's sitting there way too long is it's tough to put him in because he's not in the flow of the game. Couldn't play Kenny because they were spreading us out and picking and popping. Their big guys shoot threes. So it's tough to play Kenny. You know, so we're very proud of the guys for, you know, we had to go with the shorter rotation. And we really, when you look at it, for us to be able to be plus 11 on the glass, you know, they're a high major lineup. They got, you know, small NBA small forward at 6'8" out there. They're playing two other 6'9" guys, and we win the rebounding battle. So give our guys a lot of credit for their battle and their fight. And we just got to keep trying to improve and get better. I thought our offensive execution, like I said earlier, had a lot to do with our lineups. We got used to, we don't practice without Jalen or Kenny or Cody. You know, we don't practice a lineup with Jaime at the 5 or Jules at the 5. And we had to play it a lot this weekend. So we got more comfortable playing with no center and really 5 guards. The more the game went on, I think I got more comfortable with how to get our guys into some strategic advantages with that small lineup. That was important for us. It hurt us against San Diego State. We got caught standing around a lot when we were playing with that, you know, with the no big man lineup.
2 more for Coach. Tarek?
Coach, easy one for me. You always say you have great things to say about Chris Smith. Maybe just tonight, something more specific that stood out to you. Obviously, stat sheet's way different than it was 2 nights ago, but just anything you might have on Chris Smith.
12 rebounds. Real simple, 12 rebounds. So I told him why I'm so confident that Kessler Edwards is going to get drafted in the NBAs, because as a sophomore, he had 60 blocks and he can defend. He had 60 blocks and he averaged 7.5 rebounds a game. Okay, everybody knows if you got size and you can make a shot. People are looking for the 3-and-D guy, which means you got to play some D and you got to rebound. So when he rebounds and he defends, he's a real player. He's got a real chance. He's got a real chance to impact the game. You know, it's just a matter of competing on the glass and rebounding the ball. So that's really how I gauge things for he and Jaime.
Final question for Coach. Ben, go ahead.
Jalen Hill and Johnny, any chance of them playing against Long Beach?
God, I hope so, Ben. How's that answer for you? God, I hope so. They're both, I think Jalen moves to the probable list. He's been dealing with tendonitis. I think it's important to have a guy's mind ready, you know, and he's got to have his mind ready and it's hard. You know, I'm a guy that ended my illustrious Division II career early with a knee injury. So you got to kind of, you go with the player on that. Johnny's out of the boot, and our medical staff and him are working on that. He has no pain. It's just something we saw trying to prevent an injury. We're trying to be preventative with Johnny and do the best thing for his career. So there's a chance, but you know we'll see how those guys feel and go from there.